Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel where we discuss all things logistics. Today I'm coming to you about a topic that I get asked about all the time. And we all know the front end of things. Okay, you're gonna go and acquire some owner operators, get on the load board and book a load, but no one knows what happens after that. You hear about the BOL or the POD or the invoicing, but you never know, like, what does that look like? Do I just throw the invoice out there? So today I'm just gonna walk you through those steps so you'll know exactly what it looks like to dispatch an owner operator on the back end. This is where the back office takes place, and I am going to guide you through it today. Now, depending on how you choose to run your business, this first step can go one or two ways. The first way is you can look on the load board for loads for your owner operator, and you can contact them if you see something that looks interesting. And from there, they would say yay or nay. If they say yay, you would then proceed to call the broker and begin to negotiate on their behalf. The other way it can go is if you have things set up similar to how I have them set up, where when my owner operators decide to do business with me, they sign agreement, and then they also fill out what's called a carrier profile. And this carrier profile lets me know the minimum amount they're willing to take per mile, the max amount of weight their truck can hold. It lets me know the max amount that they want to even hold, because just because it's the max, it doesn't mean they want to push their equipment to the max. So it lets me know the areas that they're willing to go to, if they want to go over the road, if they want to stay local. So I already have this information. And if I know I'm planning trips for them on a weekly basis, then I already have the goal for them to, hey, just book me what you see and then let me know what you get. So in that instance, it would be me looking and I see something that I want or that I like or that I feel would be beneficial to his business or her business. And I then contact the broker on their behalf and immediately begin to negotiate. Now, let's say we negotiate and now we've come to an agreement. Now, once the negotiating is done and you all have agreed to a number or everything as a whole, assuming that you all have never done business before, never done business with this broker, that broker would then send you what's called a carrier packet. The carrier packet can either come in PDF format or it can come as a clickable link. Either way, it's your job as the dispatcher to complete that carrier packet. Now, if you have the correct carrier profile, then everything that they could possibly ask for in that carrier packet that you receive from the broker, anything that they can possibly ask for, it should be covered in the carrier profile that you created when that owner operator first signed on to do business with you. So it shouldn't be you having to contact that owner operator to say, hey, what's this information? What's that? Or can you send me this? Or can you send me that? You should already have this stuff because it should have been part of the initial paperwork that you gave them when they signed up to do business with you. Now, assuming you did that part correctly, then you would have everything you needed to complete that carrier packet to send back to the broker. Now, in addition to sending the carrier packet to the broker, you also need to send a W-9, the authority, and the certificate of insurance to the broker so that they can begin to get your owner operator set up in their system. Now, some brokers will request to become a certificate holder on that policy before the owner operator can take the load. If they do, you would simply call or email that insurance provider and let them know that you need a new certificate of insurance with that particular broker listed as the certificate holder. Now, if your owner operator is factoring the load, meaning they have a factoring company, you also need to send that broker the NOA, which is also known as the notice of assignment. This comes from the factoring company, so it's not something that you can expect that broker to send to you. It's something that you should already have on file. So about 10 to 15 minutes after you've sent that broker all the required documents, you should be receiving an email with the rate confirmation. When you receive that rate con, you need to make sure everything matches. I cannot stress this enough. This is a legally binding contract that you are putting your owner operator in. The least you can do is make sure everything matches. It is your job to make sure everything matches and to make sure that everything is signed. So, mileage, destination, pay, the numbers, the load numbers, all of this information needs to match up. okay? And it's your job to make sure of that. Assuming that everything is correct with what you discussed on the phone with that broker, you then need to sign it, date it, and send it back to the broker. And also, do not skip this step, okay? Send a copy to the owner operator. In addition to me sending the Raycon to the owner operator, I also text the address that they're going to. And that's just something that I do, not something you have to do, but I'm sure will be helpful for your owner operators for you to do that. However, that's something that you all can agree upon when you decide to sign on and do business together. Next, we will be moving on to the second end of the back office, which would be invoicing, right? So your owner operator is done with the load. Their BOL has now turned into a POD, meaning their bill of lading has been signed, and now it is proof of delivery. So your owner operator will send that to you right away because that's their money. And from there, you send that to the broker. Now, in addition to all the other important information that was included on the rate confirmation, it also listed how you get paid or how your owner operator gets paid. You need to follow the steps on that rate con to get that owner operator paid. The information that's on the rate con can easily be transferred over to the invoice that you create. Now, you can use the app like or software like QuickBooks, where they actually remind you and let you know that invoices are due to expire, so it kind of helps you keep track with things. But in the beginning, you can just create your own invoicing if you like. Either way, prepare the invoice using the information that is on the rate con, meaning the destination, the pickup, the weight, the commodity. All of that information is going to be transferred onto the invoice. In addition to the invoice that you just prepared, you need to also send them the bill of lading, which is now the POD because it's signed. So it's the same sheet of paper, except one is signed and one is not. So you're sending them over your invoice, your POD, which is the proof of delivery, which is the BOL signed, okay, not to confuse you all. You're sending over the rate con, and you're also sending over any receipts that your owner operator has to submit, because sometimes they have to be reimbursed for things that they've paid for over the road, like tolls and things of that nature. Now, if that owner operator is dealing with a factoring company, everything that I just said, you send to the factoring company and not the broker. Very important thing to note. Before you even sign that rate con, you should have already checked their credit. How do you check their credit? You can use the factoring company's website. You can use the low board, or you can use your own credit software. There's like brokercreditcheck.com or something like that. Either way, check their credit. Do not skip this step. And last, I want to show you what each of these documents look like so that you can have an idea and kind of start to become familiar, because I noticed that that's where all you all's anxiety come from, is the unknown. So let me show you what a few of these documents look like that I keep talking to you about. So briefly, I just want to take the time to show you all some of the documents that I mentioned in this video. And right now we're looking at the rate con. Now the rate con is a legally binding contract, and you'll see right here we're saying the dispatcher's info. That's going to generally give you the information of the broker. Carrier information, that's your owner operator. It's talking about the weight. It's talking about how many pieces it is, the trailer with the commodity, the BOL number. Tells you where to pick up, where you're delivering to, pickup time, delivery time. All of this is important. You want to make sure all this information matches what you talked about on the phone. You're going to read any notes because notes are very important. So see what these notes say. And then you also need to check out the rate. I didn't see mileage on this one. I don't see the mileage on this one, but it could just be me looking over it right now. So it goes into all those details, and you want to make sure all of that matches. This is also letting you know, as I mentioned in the video, how it tells you how to get paid, where to submit your invoices to once you're done, what steps you need to take, who you need to send it to. So there's not going to be any really real worry on that, because it lets you know on the rate con. And then you would potentially sign it, phone number, truck or trailer number, and that is the rate con. Next, we have the BOL, which is the bill of lading, which when it is signed, it becomes POD, which is proof of delivery. Now, right here would be that BOL number that we saw in the Raycon. That would be right here. Then you got the shipping information. You have the carrier's information here. This is letting the owner operator know what they're picking up and how much of what they're picking up, and they can kind of glance and see, like, okay, yes, this is what I have. Not literally going in boxes or anything, but just generally looking, does it seem like what he has? And basically, when he gets to the receiver is just going to make sure it's in the same condition. Does it still look like it's about 54, pallets in there or pieces in there? Does everything look like it's in good condition? Does it look like it got damaged in any way? Next, we have the notice of assignment. Notice of assignment, it is not coming from the broker, but you will give this to the broker. The notice of assignment comes from the factoring company. You should already have this on file once you sign your owner operator up with a factoring company, or once you find out that they have one. You should be asking for that notice of assignment. It should be part of your paperwork. And this is just going to give the owner operators information, their information, and just let them know what the agreement is. That's really simple. This is what an authority looks like. It gives the information, the service date. You would have the motor carrier number here, and the US DOT number would be here, along with the business name and then the city and state. And it's stating this license is evidence of the applicant's authority to engage in operations in interstate or foreign commerce as a broker, arranging for transportation of freight, except household goods, by motor vehicle. So, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of the end of this document. Next, we have the COI, which is also known as the Certificate of Insurance. Now, this is going to give you the information about your operator's insurance. It would have his or her business name and information here. Policy number, effective date, expiration date, how much of a policy they have. Right here, when you have a broker asking to become the certificate holder, they're basically, what happens is, when you call to have them added as the certificate holder, you're going to then receive another certificate of insurance like the one we have. And right here, we'll have the broker's information. And right here lets them know how long this is in effect. When will this expire? Because, of course, you don't want to keep having a call over and over again and say, put this person, now take that person away. Now put this person, now take that person away. You let them know how long that person is supposed to be a certificate holder, and then it'll kind of automatically go back from there. So general information again. Next, we have our W-9, which is an IRS form. Your owner operator should complete this during the onboarding process. So it's something you shouldn't have to request. It should already be done. And it's just asking their name, the business name, what type of business structure they have, and then the EIN number. Really simple. Sign and date, and that's that. These are typically good for 1 year, so you should just update it yearly with your own operator and just keep one on file, because every time you sign up with a broker or even directly with the shipper, you're going to need this W-9 form complete. Next, we have the broker agreement, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is the agreement between the owner operator and the broker, which you are due to complete. It goes over terms, services, compensation, pay, confidentiality, and so on and so forth. So it is your job to read this and make sure everything makes sense. Then you would sign and date it. And that kind of covers all of the documents that I mentioned in this video today. I hope this helped give you an idea of what types of documents you're going to look at and what it looks like. Because this is pretty much all of them, and this is generally how they look. Because they will be different. Every template is not the same, but this will give you an idea of what it's going to look like and what type of paperwork you'll be dealing with. Now, just to answer a few questions that I keep getting about my course, I do offer a course right now in honor of Father's Day and Juneteenth. It is on sale for $150. You do not have to put a discount code or anything like that in. You just purchase it and you study at your own pace. It is completely self-study, but you have the ability to email me any questions that you have as needed. Now, In addition to my course, I offer a mentorship. The mentorship is for 4 weeks where we have one-on-one phone calls. Those are typically on Wednesdays where we do the 1 hour phone call. But during the week, it's going to be daily accountability, motivation, goal setting. And we'll do that typically through email or text. The phone calls that are normally an hour long are done on Wednesdays. So a lot of people had questions about when does that start? How do we study? When is the class? So if you purchase the course, it's self-study. If you add on the mentorship, now you can add on the mentorship, but you can't buy the mentorship if you haven't taken the course. I understand that some of you have taken other people's courses, and I don't mind that at all. However, if I am mentoring you, sometimes I need to refer you back to certain information. And if I don't even know whose course you've taken or what you have access to, that makes it hard for me to tell you what to refer to get certain answers or where to look at for certain answers. As opposed to people that have taken my course, I can say, hey, go right to this location and you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. So because I don't know what was included in your course, I don't know if it covered everything that mine covers, it's hard for me to mentor you. So therefore, you can buy the course without the mentorship, but you cannot buy the mentorship without having access to the course. You can decide to add on the mentorship later. They start the first Sunday of every month, or you can opt to do both at the same time. Again, it's study at your own pace. If you do the 4-week mentorship, we work through whatever step you're on once we analyze where you are, what you've accomplished, and then we go ahead and move accordingly. Whatever needs to be done, we set goals and we get it done so that at the end of the 4 weeks, hopefully you've acquired your own operator or whatever it is that was your goal at the beginning of the 4 weeks. So I hope this all gave you the information that you're looking for. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments section, and I will see you next time. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to continue to educate yourself on all things logistics, please like, share, and subscribe. And also remember, with all things logistics, you are in business for yourself, but never by yourself. I'll see you next time.